Welcome back to the Locked Up RC Monday night live stream. I am your host, Patrick Norton. Tonight we have part 2 of building our Axial SCX10-III. I hope you'll stick around. Yay, everything works tonight. Ben, happy Monday to you too. Thank you for joining. I just FYI, I got your stuff. Everything should go out tomorrow. Should be good with that, including the other stuff that you get, the secret stuff that no one knows about, that we won't talk about. So last week we built the shocks and the axle housings, loaded them up. Those are ready to go. Tonight, first I have to figure out what page we're on. I didn't do any sort of pre-reading or research or anything because, as I said last week, I'm trying to make this, like you guys are building something at home. So I hope everyone is having a good Monday night. Where am I? Well, I know where I am. Where am I in the instructions? We are on page 16 starts tonight, right? Nope, missed one. Page 14 starts tonight. So if you're following along with the, Axial SCX10 home game, you'll know where to go. I don't know. I'm just kind of extra ridiculous tonight. No caffeine. Maybe a little. I don't know. What's everyone else up to and building tonight? Please let me know. I'm going to turn this up a little bit. I feel like I want this to be a little bit brighter. Maybe. There we go. It's hard to tell sometimes. As I move things around in the office, sometimes I mess everything up. I don't know. Where are we? Let's see. Bag C1. I did remember water tonight, which is good. This is a large bag. This is bag J. Bag J? Man, we got a lot of steps. Bag H. Bag F. C1, transmission. It was recommended last week that we pay extra close attention to this transmission build. So we'll see how this goes. Could be a total cluster, but at least it'll be interesting if it is. And I'm here to entertain you guys. Let's see. Don't need that in here. Just make a slight mess over there. Gonna try to put some of these small parts in here so that they don't do what that one was trying to do and roll off. These I think are big enough. Whatever. More stuff to cut open. Bags inside of bags. Which is fine. I mean, it would probably suck if everything was all in one bag. Just dump it in a giant bowl. What's up, Craig? Good to see you, man. How are things with you? Let's see. Bunch of bearings, and it looks like we've got a slipper in here. Or at least slipper pads. Some hardware. I will put that in this dish. Lord only knows what this was used for previously. Looks like there might be some... No, we're okay. Just weird reflections. Rodney, glad you're happy. That's what we like to hear. Good tools are a worthy investment, honestly. I mean, there's some things you can get away with. Some things it pays to invest, I guess, if you will, in some nice stuff. Let's see. This is all... I'm opening all of the bags ahead of time. Maybe that's a bad idea, but at least it'll be entertaining. I run out of little plastic dishes when you got a big glass one. So, make sure I don't throw anything away. That would make it really fun if later on I had thrown a part away and then was looking for it and complaining about whoever packed this. I'd be a Karen. I don't know. So I have a question for you guys. Not RC related, but just to keep this interesting and something for you guys to talk about. So I went to the grocery store I just knocked over something. I went to the grocery store yesterday, and I went to the deli and ordered some meat and cheese cut to make some sandwiches for dinner tonight. And when the lady like cut, you know, our roast beef or whatever, and she did the cheese, and then she went to do the roast beef. Doesn't matter. She had to take something off of the cutter. And when she took whatever it was off of the cutter, it was like a little butt piece, you know, of whatever someone else had ordered that someone left there. And she dropped it. And she went to pick it up off of the floor and, like, couldn't pick it up. And she's got her gloved hands on, which I guess makes it harder to do things, of course. And she picks it up off the floor with, like, both of her hands. And she's going, like this on the floor to get it. Throws it away. And then goes to the case and picks up the roast beef she was going to cut for me with the same gloved hands. And I'm thinking to myself, is that okay? That was on the floor where everyone's walking. Should I say? I didn't say anything because honestly, whatever. I don't know. Would that have irritated you if the person cutting your meat had wiped their glove on the floor and then touched the whole big thing of roast beef? I mean, honestly, the parts that she was cutting off for us, I don't think touched like a glove where, you know, that had touched the floor, but all the other people that got the roast beef, we'll see what happens. Anyway, I generally try to not complain about stuff like that. I worked in the service industry, and, you know, as a bartender, and people would complain about stuff, and, you know, there's some things you can't help, and everybody slips, and especially in these times, I feel like, maybe I just need to be understanding and let the small things go. But I'm just curious what everyone else would think. Sorry, I'm still trying to get all of this situated. I moved a little table in over here so I could keep all the kit parts over there, because I realized once I'm in this chair, I can only really access so much stuff up here. So, you know, having stuff over here, whatever, nobody cares. It's taken me, how long? 8 minutes to do 0. We're off to a good start. This will be the 12 episode build. Maybe I'm going to condense the whole build when I'm done into one super short, quick thing of just, we'll do that. Probably won't. Okay, anyway, so we've opened some bags. We've got some stuff we have to do. Assembly. Well, they've just got a whole ton of stuff all together. Jam it all together. We've got some big E-clips that we're going to use at some point. I don't know where those are. They're in here. Okay. I guess I should have paid attention to what the bag number was when I was opening, but I don't know that even makes sense. So let's see. This is the slipper gear. I feel like that'll come in later. Right? Let's see. Some of these parts are in here. This is in here. Where'd that collar go? Okay, that's just bearings. It's just plastic stuff. Is it all mostly in here? Maybe I'm the idiot. I don't know. It's possible. It's highly likely. Even probable. Is this a pinion? What? Man, I should have started drinking. At least I'd have an excuse. Not know what's going on. That is a. Oh, let me see. Listen, we've got a see more on this message. It's a long message. What are my thoughts or suggestions on what? Trying to tuck the wheels in as much as I possibly can on my Class 1 TRX4 Sport with a Clodbuster hardbody. The only thing that works is running RC 4-wheel drive deep dish, but those suck at holding a bead. What's your thoughts or suggestions? Well, I'll tell you this. All of our wheels, even our 155s, will fit on TRX4 portals. So, I mean, really the only thing I could think of that you'd want to give a shot is... Let me think here. I'm guessing maybe the 19... Let's see... 8L or SLW or A08, all of them. The 8L has the hex milled in. The A08 and the SLW, if you're going to use the smallest axial flange or SLW hub, that's as far in as it's going to go. I haven't done any backspacing comparisons between our wheels and everyone else's wheels because there's too many. But if you look, let's see, I want to say on our site in the FAQ, there are the steps that you can use to figure out your back spacing and compare that to the back spacing on our wheels and everything. You should be able to get some numbers that will tell you concrete numbers. You're gonna have to do some math, I know, but that should allow you to figure out exactly how far something's gonna poke in or out or whatever. I hope that helps. It's hard to do. That math it's not that hard. There's just a lot of it. I get hit in the head a lot. I don't know. Okay, back to this. Or there are two of these. Are they exactly the same? Or did they just send me two? I guess there's probably one for the dig and one for the 2-speed. So if you don't know about this kit, the little that I do know is that there's a dig and a 2-speed. So you don't have to run both or either. But let's just see what kind of damage we can do. I'm looking for a shaft, which is over here. Forgot about this pile. That would be fun. We don't need that. Okay, let's see. This looks like this one. I guess I could zoom in a little bit so you guys can see a little bit better. I mean, I don't have to, but and I did try to make it so that my center is a little bit closer to me, but then I moved everything again and messed that all up. I just can't get it right. One of these days, I will have everything situated so perfectly, it will be glorious. Dogs and cats living together. Mass hysteria is what I'm saying. Let's see. So this is not... Oh, wait. Okay. So we slide this on, and then we're going to put a little clip on the end is what it looks like. So I'm guessing there is one little clip in here. And I am so glad that I've been in this hobby for a while and I have lots of extra parts, because that's super easy to lose. To lose these little clips. Of course, now that I said something, I'll probably lose it. I just cursed myself. We'll see what happens. Yeah, my fingers feel extra thick tonight. Have I become allergic to whatever I had for dinner? It can blow up like a blowfish or whatever. I don't know. Yeah, not doing a good job staying under the camera. My apologies. Maybe what I need to do is turn this hair. It's all gonna like fall down. It'd be funny. There we go. Whatever. Nobody's looking at me anyway. Focus on this. Don't look up here. No. Okay. We've got that done. We've got a big shaft. A big shaft. That's... It's not family friendly anymore. Ruined it. Let's see. That is not it. It's not that. It's got to be this. Okay, so we've got this shaft is going to go through this gear with the square end, I guess. Oh, yeah, because yeah, that's definitely right. Okay, and then we're going to put a clip on here. It's calling for black grease, so we will put that on there as well, wherever I hid that. Just want to make sure this is seated all the way. I'm once again off camera. I need somebody to just be here and smack me when I get off camera. Let's see. So this is that, and then we've got a slightly larger gear. Doesn't really tell us which gears, but these look like they're kind of stupid proof, which is a good thing. And yet, that can't be right because that's brutally loose. These two gears are different. Does it go on? That can't make a difference. I mean, right? That can't be right. That would be horrible. Is it right? No, there's no way. It can't be. That's the only gears that I see in here. That's that size. The only other gear I see, let's see, 23 tooth. This one was an 18 tooth. I'm not going to sit here and count teeth, am I? I mean, hey, maybe this one. Yeah, okay. So this gear is the correct one. It looks small. It's smaller than this, but it's bigger than this one. Okay. Just need to have more faith in the instructions and just blindly assemble things. Right? Probably not. No, yeah. Every week. I'm going to smack this background music. What's the problem here? Can't have total abject silence. Let's see. Right hand swell. Oh, man. Last week my comments were like self-populating or whatever. This week they're not. What's up, Tony? What's up, Darwin? Right hand is swollen due to deer fly bite. Turns out I'm allergic. That sucks. I am sorry for your swollenness. But yeah, since we've already determined that this isn't family friendly, if your right hand is swollen, would it feel like someone else? I'm just, just being inappropriate. Just, curious. Because I've never actually had an allergic reaction to anything that I can remember, which I've just cursed myself to, I don't know what's going to happen now. Go when you're home. That is a tight fit. I don't know if it's seated all the way. Last time I heard it snap, so I'm hoping that got it. It's just really hard to see in that little gap. It doesn't look like this clip is wanting to cooperate for whatever reason. Part of me feels like it's in there. Part of me feels like it's not. I am sure there is some better tool I could be using for this, but this is what I have. So, okay, that feels a little better. It can be really hard to see in there to see if it's actually. So I feel like this little center standoff isn't actually going into the groove as deeply as I want it to, I guess is what I'll say. That groove also looks like it's kind of shallow. It's not a very deep groove. Whatever. If that's going to end up with a bearing on the back side of it, I'm not entirely sure why the clip is necessary. Maybe the clip's not necessary. I don't think the clip is necessary. So I was looking at this. Gotta be careful. They were right. Sean was right. That would explain why the clip was not seating all the way, because it's not even supposed to go in there. I was wondering why they would put a clip in only to put a bearing behind it. Man. Good times. Let's see. My calipers, of course, I've left over on the other workbench. Should I make this fun? Yeah, it doesn't work. It's fine. Just trying to, keep things lively for you guys. Okay, so I was trying to find the proper bearing. Move this over. 511, I feel like that's what this is. Just want to make sure. Good to go. Okay, so we have this part and this part assembled. I did not, there we are. Black grease. Okay. So now we have this complicated looking guy. I'm guessing this is going like that. Looks like the first thing we put on is a bearing. Of course you're going to do that. Let's see. The next thing we're putting on looks like it's a gear. Okay. Gear will go on the bearing. So let's see. The next thing is another bearing. Now we put a clip on. Let's see. So we will take the clip that we just had. If I can get it out of this little bowl. Hopefully I did not jack up this clip by installing it. I fear that I have. Chicago. Wait a second, it says I should have 3. Right, so it says I need 3 of these. So they had to at least send me 3. There we go. So let's compare these two. See if I mess this clip up or not. Yeah, a little bit. Okay, so we'll use this one for now, since we're in the middle of this. Get that on. Yes, that's much better. Let me see if I can squeeze this clip back down a little bit. If I can't, I will have to dig in my spare parts to see if I have another one. That may have been, that was probably too much. Now it's a little tight now. That's okay. Well, that'll just make it interesting. Let's see, we need this part. Okay, so we got a lot of these interesting castle looking kind of parts. Let's see, this one is not it, right? Okay, so we'll set that back aside. So it's got to be this. And is this the same on both sides? I see no difference, so I'm hoping it doesn't matter which way I slide this on. Hopefully that won't blow up in my face later. Okay. So now we're back to bearing. So it's got to be another 511. Oh, they got a lot of bearings in here. Like, oh yeah, probably want to put the gear on. We'll want that. Okay, another bearing. So gear rides on the bearing. Now we put this last clip on, which this may be really interesting because I squeezed it down and made it pretty small. This may just blow up in my face. That'll be the end of that. Okay, woo! Success. Let's see, one more bearing. I think that's it. So I'm assuming that this is the transmission 2-speed internals apparatus. I don't know what you want to call it. So we can set these 3 parts up here. Actually, let me see. I can really try to not smack everything all at the same time. I did not put grease on those parts yet. So I'm going to put this right here to remind myself. Okay. Now we're on to the bottom half of this page, where we've got to figure out what is what. Let me see, this head, that must be this part. This looks more like the cover. So we've got this. Oh, this is gonna get fun quickly fun. Got that. I need to find these parts. Okay, so this other part was, I wish I could have had it, maybe I should zoom out a hair, I don't know. The other part must have come out of a different bag because it was in a different little bin, if you will. Whatever. That's fine. Stuff all over the place. Okay, so this. Now we're gonna have to force a screw into there. AXI235102. AXI235. Okay, so M2.5 by 18. That should, in theory, be pretty easy to pick out of here. There we go. It's hiding. I also see use a spacer for full-time 1 speed, no shift function. No, I don't know what I'm going to want to do yet. I'm guessing I'll probably want the 2 speed. I say that. I don't know. Am I actually going to want a 2 speed in this? I have to think about it. I suppose I could always build it for 1, and then if I don't like it, oops, take it apart, which is the more complicated way to do it. That's okay. So this is what looks to me like just shift linkage. Obviously that's why they're talking about having the spacer or not. I don't have any servos or anything picked out yet, but yeah, we'll get to that. Let's see. We're going to do it. We're going to set it up as if we're going to 1 to 2 speed. I think that'll be more fun. Oh, wow. How does this go together? My brain's exploding looking at this picture. Let's see. So this is going to seat in here. This will go on there. Don't really see anything that's going to hold that in place. Oh, okay, I see. Makes sense. Let me see. Yeah, that's got to be better. Okay, so actually, let me do this. It's not in my eyes, so that helps you guys. Okay, so this linkage is in here. This is right there. So basically, this is just going to poke through that hole in order to get this in. I guess I can do that after I put this on because it doesn't look like there's anything that would stop it. This is going to thread onto this. I guess I should, so note to self. So when you're putting this together, this is going to be your shift linkage, and I assembled this first, which means I can't get it on there because I can't turn it. So, bad, Patrick, bad. If that's the worst mistake I make all night, we'll be in good shape. I feel like. Oh, getting this on there is going to kind of suck, if I'm honest. Especially since this spins. Okay, so that makes me want to say take this back apart. I'm going to slide this into here. That way I can grab that. I guess I could have, one way or the other. Oh, that actually started really easily. Okay, that's good. So now it's spinning. So now I will grab this. And we'll just twist this on. If I was playing Where's Waldo with you, wouldn't do any good, can't tell you. What? I'm so confused. What does that mean? Do I have a Waldo in the background? Or did I say something that made you think of that? Literally, when I'm doing these streams, I have the attention span of a graham cracker, and anything I've said more than like 30 seconds ago, I've already forgotten about. I don't know why that happens, but it seems like it happens to me all the time. This is actually getting pretty tough. Maybe it's getting close to being done. It feels good in the fingers. Man, I don't feel like that's on as far as I want it to be. Of course, they don't really tell you, you know, hey, put it on X amount of turns. You can only get to it so much. You need to have multiple tools. Nothing happening there. Everything's fine. How's everybody doing tonight? Good times. I'm going to say that's on far enough because I don't think I can get it on any further. Okay, how did we have this? Let's see. This will go with... Okay, which way does this go? My bearing is already in there. So it's going to help me figure out where to put everything, in theory. Oh, let's see. This is one of those spaghetti monster things where I feel like I have not enough hands. Okay, this has to... Did I do something wrong? It's totally possible. Maybe even highly likely. How do I get this in there? What the... Nothing to see here. Move along. Okay. I need to get this in. There's no way to get that in, and then... Well, I say there's no way. There's a way. This is going in somehow. How? What am I not understanding? So you have to screw this piece on afterwards? Oh my gosh. That is disappointing. And just makes this more of a pain in the ass than I feel like it really needs to be. I want to just slip this past this collar, get it all in there, and then get the collar on there. But because of the way everything is in there, it just won't cooperate. Maybe. I say that. I don't want to break the plastic, which is what I feel like I'm about to do. Not purposely, but more out of just, I don't know. Too strong for my own good. Oh, wait, maybe. This is like a jacked up Rubik's Cube. Go in your home? Come on. You're so close. So close. I don't want to have to take that apart. I'm being lazy. Oh, man. Ah, there we go. Ha-ha! Success-ish. God, I hope I don't have to take that apart again. Let's see. It's not that bad. I'm being melodramatic. You know. Probably one bird would have been enough, but I went with two. Because, you know, if you're going to be a bear, be a grizzly. This... I'm going to laugh if I put it in backwards. That would be awesome. Okay, let's see. So we got this in. Make sure I'm orienting everything correctly. This goes in through here. Hey. Well, that just fell apart on me. Try to get that bearing in there. Okay. That does not seem right. Well, there we go. Okay, it fell into place. Whew. We've come a long way since the simple 3-gear AX10 transmission, haven't we? Let's see. Okay, I think we are almost done with this phase. No, we're not. I need to put that back in. With this phase, we're so close. With the bottom of the first page, and we're only 35 minutes in. You know, it's a quick build. It's mostly my stupidity. Actually, all of it's been my stupidity. Or just my inability to see things correctly. So we want to pop 2 screws in. That'll help hold this together. AXA149 is M3x20 flathead. I'm guessing that's one of these guys. Let's confirm. I may have grabbed the wrong screws. These things happen. Okay, that one's good. I accidentally grabbed some 25s. They were just a bit long. Okay. Man, these screws seem like they may be unnecessarily long. Do they have to be that long? I'm asking for a friend. I'm gonna be here for a while tightening these. I don't know why I'm now talking quietly. Does have numbers on manual. There are page numbers and there are part numbers. Yeah. It's just, you know, unfortunately, I guess, in my case, when you've built enough of these things, you kind of tend to think you know what you're doing when you don't. And that causes you to make installation errors. Sometimes just seeing how something is oriented can be hard to actually see in person, no matter how good the drawings are. I mean, the drawings are fine. The instructions are all completely correct. It's really just user error, which is super, super common. For me, I do this all the time. Make mistakes, I mean. And that's fine. Oh, actually, we're going to need 4 of those screws, aren't we? I now see that there are 2 down here. I'm going to have ripped forearms this summer. And I'm not going to want to take my shirt off. But my forearms, yes, they will be attractive. Or freakishly too big and hideous. Let's see, that's probably more common. Or not more common, more likely. Is that also a 20 or is that a 25? Yep, okay. 2 more 20s on the other side. Hey, go in your home. I have to get all Happy Gilmore on you. Shows 1, 2, 3 as in order of operations on that step. Does it? Yes. Yes, it does. Well, kind of. So the individual parts are... actually, you know what? It does. There's a 3 right there. So I should have known to do that last. But again, there's a lot of numbers and a lot of information on here. It's not that much. But when you're looking at all of this and you kind of start to see how it goes together... Yeah, I'm not good at following instructions. We'll just leave it at that. That's what makes it fun when I build these things. I mean, the instructions are really like suggestions, right? Instructions. Come on. Let's see. I mean, really, if I followed all of the instructions exactly, and I did this perfectly, this wouldn't be fun to watch. It's more fun. This would probably be hilarious to watch if I was just tanked. I'm not recommending anyone try to assemble this truck, even slightly inebriated. But if someone did, that would probably be at least mildly humorous. I don't know. It would probably end up, going out the window. Depending upon what type of, drunk you are, I guess. Again, not condoning that, but whew. I don't want to have to take that apart again. It really seems unnecessary to have screws that long going in there. Maybe it is. I don't know. But instead of a 20, would an 18 have worked? Where are we? 40 minutes in. Okay. We're just getting warmed up. 40 minutes, 1 page. At that rate, this will take 7 weeks. No, I'm kidding. Maybe it will. I don't know. Okay, where are we? We are complete with page 14. We're complete with page 14 is now complete. Please turn your textbooks to page 15 and repeat after me. Black grease that I forgot to put it. Shit. I even put it right here so that I wouldn't forget. Damn it, Beavis. I think I can still reach enough of this that I'm just gonna squeeze some grease in there. It is hard to see, both for me and you guys. But if I can get that seated and then just roll it around a couple times. I mean, look, it's not like this has to be completely full of transmission fluid or anything. You're really just putting a little bit in there. And then I'll come around to this side for this one. Yeah, okay. If you do what I did and you don't grease them because they're falling all over the place and you just want to get it put together, this is probably a good time to grease it. I say that. Maybe it'll blow up in my face somehow. I don't know. We'll see what happens. Actually, really surprised I didn't get stuff all over my hands. Okay, where are we? This looks fun. More parts. It's like they want me to put parts in this transmission. It's madness. Okay. We have come a long way since the day of the homemade transmission output dig. That is all I'm going to say about this. This is interesting. So I'm just remarking to myself on this piece that seems to have the webbing right here that, you know, looks like transfer case webbing. It seems like this is all going to be covered up by like a spur gear and a cover. And I mean, the detail's nice. I'm just wondering why it's there. Nothing wrong with it. Let's see. Get that further away from me. Okay, so this looks like it goes here. Does everyone concur? Do we have any dissenters amongst us? I guess we don't have any new comments. Okay, good. Just want to make sure. Yeah, so I'm not the Facebook comments used to not self-scroll, so I'd constantly have to look up and check them. It seems like now somehow they sort of scroll themselves up, which is better, but just want to make sure I don't miss anything. We are going to put in a bearing AX. So that's another 5x11x4. Lots of bearings in this transmission. This is going to be a fun one to build a bearing kit for. So I don't know that I actually need to, let's see, it looks like I can probably, just poke the bearing in here. Well, I guess there's a pin. This is going to be fun. So we'll put the bearing in. And then we're going to look for that pin. Man, that's a short pin. I guess it's not that short. It's 2.5 by 8. It just looks really short because it's 2.5, and I'm so used to wheel hex pins that are 2 by 10 or 2 by 11. Still, I got a lot of those in there. Whatever. Man, that just seems tiny, right? Both of these gears are going to go in. They look to be identical. I would say so. Two-sided. So it shouldn't matter how you do this. Another bearing. Okay. Next bearing is going to be this one, which I'm going to, I have a hunch that it goes right there. Then it looks like we'll have another gear and then a pin in this. this is going to be interesting to put together without it all blowing up in my face. How do you work on this in the field? Okay, I'm going to, can I sit this down or is it going to fall over? I lost my mind. Possibly. Why does this pin not go in? What? This is a different pin. 2612. No. Okay. It's strange. There we go. I must have just had it pushing against the bevel, and it looked like it was supposed to go in, but it did not want to. These things happen. Okay, so we'll get this on. So now we have these two halves like this. This will rotate like this. No, okay, like this. Yeah. Then it all goes together, in theory. Well, that wasn't such a chore, now was it? Don't drop it. Okay, let's see. 2 through 5, 178. 2 through 5, 178, and 3 by 14. I don't know why I don't just look up here. Whatever. This has got to be a 14, right? Let's just make sure. Yep. Okay, I think if I get at least one of these in, it will hold it together enough that it won't just all come apart on me. Man, the technology that has gone into, use a little grease to help hold the pins. But hey, Darwin, that's a great tip. Thank you for that. The technology that has gone into these transmissions over the years has just, or maybe not the technology, the design, the R&D that has gone into these transmissions, and the design. I mean, aesthetically, obviously, this looks, you know, much more like a one-to-one transmission than the original SCX10 transmission. I mean, you know, it's not as realistic as like a Wheelie King transmission or anything like that. Damn you, background music. I don't even know if you guys can hear that. I can just tell I have a little, you know, EQ on here that tells me when it's deadly silent, and that's no good. So there for your enjoyment. 3 screws, success. Well, page 15 took like 5 minutes compared to... Okay, look, I know most of page 1 was me just yakking and getting set up, so I blame someone else. I don't know. I don't know that this is a halfway point, but I'm going to use this for a halftime joke. You know, there are a lot of segments that I have not necessarily included in the show every week, but you gotta have the dad joke, man. I've been reading a scary book in Braille, and I think something really bad is about to happen. I can feel it. I think the scene transition from the dad joke needs to just be the rimshot sound. Oh, yeah. I'll have to add that in next time if I remember. Ooh, yeah, baby. Making things. Making stuff. There's just a lot of pieces in here. Where do these all go? Holy crap. I'm never going to want to take this transmission apart. That's not true, but... Okay. So... as you mentioned earlier, I believe pics of the hardware on the right side of the page are to scale. The test they were on the 10-2 kit. Probably, yeah. Sometimes I'd measure stuff anyway because one of these manuals, I don't remember what it was I assembled, and I feel like it was an Axial manual, and we were all really surprised by it. The hardware was not to scale. Maybe it wasn't the hardware, maybe it was the bearings, something, I can't remember. Maybe it was a TRX4, I don't know. No, that was, let's see, that was an RTR, so it wasn't that. Doesn't matter. Okay. Things are going to start happening to me now. Anybody knows what movie that came from, you let me know. I don't know what you'll win, but I'll give you something, because it's good stuff. Let's see. We've got this case end bearing this shaft. This just looks like an idler shaft. Yep. Okie-dokie. There's another gear. This has 218, so that's 5x10s. Should be these two, if I'm not mistaken. I frequently am. Yeah. Wait, was it the capper? Maybe it was the capper. I can't remember. I didn't build our capper. Jackie did, but I guess I helped her. It's been too long. Yeah, I feel it was something recent. I guess if it wasn't the SCX10, and it wasn't the 10-II, I don't think. It was either the 10-II or the capper. I can't remember though. Either way, it's all good now. We're past it. I'm gonna try to remember to grease things when I'm supposed to now. I feel like that would make my life just a little bit easier. Okay, so we're gonna need this, and we need this orientation. Let's see. Just so it looks like the picture, I'll flip this up for you guys. Okay. Ooh, got a big bearing that I should have put in. Oh, okay. We're still good. Okay. Big bearing. Tiny baby. Or is that a 5x10? Oh, that's this guy. A bearing within a bearing. It's bearing inception. A bearing within a bearing. Do you know if you put one bearing inside of another one, it makes it go twice as fast? I'm going to start that rumor. Because what it does is it cuts the drag so that each bearing has 50% of the drag. So that's what it is. That's not what it is. Okay, that is not the right part. Come on, Patrick. This is what we want. So our little bearing goes inside of this. So tiny. Then this is going to fit down in here. I should have put the idler in second. See, this page, they don't have the steps of 1, 2, 3. Not a big deal. Easily solved. But I'm just saying. You're in school. Are you allowed to watch? I don't know, Ethan. What? No, you are not allowed to watch. Get back to school. If you're in school, you need to be in school. How are you in school? Where are you? I don't understand. It's really late here. Isn't it like where? Oh, I guess, you know, that's such an American thing for me to say. Everyone's in my time zone. Where are you located, Ethan? I don't know. I don't think we've really done anything too bad. We've shot a couple of birds. We've had some mild sexual innuendo. Not sexual, I don't know. We've said some nasty things, but nothing really too bad. No baby seals have been sacrificed. Oh, Australia. Okay. Good day. We haven't really done anything too bad, but I will try to keep it. I'm going to say, you know, I'll keep it to like NC-17. So probably only, you know, sacrifice a few people towards the end of the show. No, you should be okay. Let me see. You're distracting me. I am easily distracted. I don't need any help. See, look, I'm forgetting to put pins in. Things are happening. I'm going to go to power this truck up and the truck's going to explode. But I'm doing work as well. Okay, well, good. Do some work. We want work. Work needs to be done. They want me to dig in here with my needle nose again. It's not so much digging, but I guess, you know, they had that one pin in the SCX10-III transmission where you kind of have to dig in there with needle nose. Maybe they just, you know, nobody complained, so they thought, hey, everybody's happy with that. I really don't mind stuff like this. It's just, it can be hard to do these things when you're in the field. So I would say this is a slightly more complicated to assemble transmission in the field than some of the other ones that I have seen. Okay, so I don't need a bearing there. I need to get a bearing in there. And I still have one bearing. Oh, where? That fell out of the backside. Okay. Man, still was a couple of extra parts. Let's see. So everything should be fully bearinged at this point. I'm not seeing any other shafts though, and I still have a bearing left. So I'm wondering, where does that bearing go? Did I leave a bearing out? It does not feel like it. I just want to make sure I put the other bearing. Yep, okay. This one I feel like it's definitely in. Yes, okay. Now I got goo on me. Luckily, I have some paper towel. Where, oh where did this bearing get left out? Okay, wait, do we have another bearing? Ah, okay, another bearing seat in there. Just wanted to make sure. Really don't like assembling complicated transmissions, getting it done, and then found a extra bearing that requires me to completely disassemble everything. I don't really know anyone that enjoys that. Let's see. This little bearing just fell out. Interesting. I will have to grease that thing up and just slap it in there. First, let's screw this thing together. Let's see, what do we got? Okay, M3x14. I don't know why I keep putting these drivers up. Oh, sorry. Yeah, I'm slacking. Back of class. Okay. Nice. I'm in the back of class. Don't change. Don't change. Got headphones now. Okay. Oh, we are. Yes. Thank you, Darwin, for answering his question. We are building. Let's see. Tonight we started on page 14. We've made a lot of progress. We're on page 16 of building transmission. It's been just under an hour. In my defense, a lot of the beginning of this show was me just, you know, setting things up, moving things around, and jibber jabber. Lots of jibber jabber. Why is that? Is that like that all the way around? Yes. No. Go in your home. I feel like the case is not completely closing the way I would expect it to. But, okay. Screw pulled it in. Good times. Where were we? Another 14. I definitely am interested to see how this all goes together. So the usual start, yeah, absolutely. You know. Well, last week I think we made more progress on a page-by-page basis because things were more of steps. This was kind of just like someone gives you a recipe to make gumbo and they just tell you throw everything in the pot all at once. It's not exactly like that. I mean, first you make a roux, just saying. But so we're doing that. Let's see this. Okay. So if anyone else is building this and they see this gap right here, it's not just you. Mine's like that. I assume that will tighten up once a screw goes in there. I know, I should not assume. So this little bearing needs to have some roast beef. I'm stealing your trick about the pins, Darwin, and I'm using it for this bearing. See if that keeps this in there. That's a part. There are a lot of parts to this thing. It's a small bag, but a lot is happening. Tonight is just going to be the transmission. I can feel it already. This part needs to go onto this part. Things are happening. Let's see. This, not really quite sure. Oh wait, that is only mildly confusing. This goes here, which means this all must sit down inside of this bad boy. They are telling me to use thread lock on something. For those of you that like to use thread lock, just FYI. So I'm not quite. I'm doing I'm doing like a dog when it looks at you. It's just like, huh? It's not. It doesn't help. I don't know why dogs do it. I've gleaned no additional information by slightly turning my head. Where did my fork go? There we are. Okay, fork. See, and they're not telling me to put this on in any particular order. Use a spacer for full-time four-wheel drive, no dig function. Well, I definitely want a dig function because I haven't had one in a while and they're fun. Don't you tell me what to do. So what you studying in school, Ethan? And I guess what level of your education are you in? Okay, so okay. This goes in there. It's I did not at first see the hole for where this was coming out, so I was a little not wigged out, but things are happening. Help me. Let's see. Everything is in this now. This is facing this way. We've got some. What is all of this? What is that part? Where is it? There it is. This is quite the interesting little part here that we're putting on the back side of this. I don't know. It's different side to side, so I feel like there must be some reason. It looks like the curved part. So if this will focus, so you have this one end that, you know, is kind of beveled, I guess, on each side. I don't know if you guys can see that or if the camera is going to decide to look at the instructions. It looks like that goes onto the unit this way, although I'm not entirely sure why yet. I'm just going to follow the instructions. Because if you look at the instructions, that's what it looks like, right? 9th grade English class right now. That's how the guys are raised. I'm loving the new rings. Ninth grade English class. Who was my 9th grade English teacher? I can't remember. I did actually recently reconnect with an English teacher that wasn't my teacher, but she was an English teacher at my school. And she was the teacher everyone wanted. Just figure it out. that was like senior year, so, you know, I don't know. Okay, let's see. This, I'm leaving that over there. I don't know why I even touched it at all. There are some, I'm looking at this and I don't know what the heck is going to happen. Anything could happen. We've got a lot of stuff happening with this actuator assembly. I'm curious to see how this all works out in the end. Like I said, having done no actual research to this ahead of time. Oh, okay, I see. All right, that makes sense. Yeah, you know what? I was going to tell you guys what I thought was going to happen here, but it was confusing me, and that's not what's happening. So I'm just going to shut up. Another kind of spaghetti monster situation of getting these things to all line up together at the same time and behave. But nothing that can't be done within reason. Let's see. We need a really short screw over here. That must be... Oh, that's a 10. Okay. It's longer than I thought it would be. Hands are a little greasy. Saving to buy a 1-to-1 4x4, so not trying to spend much on cars, but what cheaper kits would I recommend? Well, that depends on what you're looking for. Are you looking for a truck or a car, a bouncer, a rock crawler? If you're looking for a 4-wheel drive, I mean, dude, there's the amount of options that we have these days for our toys are just crazy compared to when I was a kid and there was like, I don't know, there was options, but you didn't have a whole lot of readily accessible hobby grade RCs where I was when I was a kid. The closest legitimate RC place was like an hour away. But that's okay. Things have changed. Okay, I don't need to play with this anymore. So that's in. We've got 2 screws that we need to put in here. What are those doing? What are these 2 screws doing? Are they threading into this thing? Oh, that's the lock. Okay, yep. So that makes sense. I was wondering how they were going to achieve lock for the dig. And essentially, not essentially, what's happening, what had happened is, so you've got like this locking plate that they've made out of metal that you're screwing into the housing, and you know the teeth and everything will slide into here. So that's going to remove this, a lot of the stress from the, I'll call it plastic, but you know, housing. So good on them for that. If I can get this all to line up and play nice. Oh, I missed. I actually would have done that first. It's probably hard to see down in here. Little holes. If I spin it, you may see them. Yeah, right there. If I had been paying attention and or I had already assembled one of these, I would have actually screwed this in first. But neither of those things happened. So this is where we are. 2 pages done in 1 hour 11 minutes. That is record time. Miller time is what time it is. Let's see. This, dude, just I want you guys to look at this and think about this transmission and think back to the original AX10 transmission and how simple it was by comparison. I think I could have assembled like 10 of those things by now, maybe even more, I don't know. But this is packed with features. I mean, you know, you've got a dig coming off the rear. You've got your 2-speed actuator right here. This is not something that they made overnight. A lot of thought went into this, and I am excited to try this thing out. We need to screw it all together now. We've got some crazy long M3x25s that we'll be using. Oh, my wrists are going to love this. Not even a little. Just want to make sure I didn't miss any screws back here, right? So we've got that. Yeah, okay. We're okay. So let me see. Where are they asking me to put these in? 3 holes in the back. It will be so. I don't need to do any more than 1 at a time. So, and I went to put the screw in. It was sticking out a lot, and I thought I was going to be doing this for a while, but it's not as bad as it could be. It could be better. It could be worse. They are long screws, but there is a lot that this is holding together. It is going all the way through the dig unit. I guess that's through half of the transfer case. So, you know, things are happening. Don't need to go Godzilla tight. I did not thread lock these 2 screws down, but now that I see what they're for, I'm actually going to take them back out, and I will, even though I tell people I never use thread lock, I will actually thread lock that, because when you are engaging and disengaging dig, if you drive like me, you are slamming that thing back and forth and just brutalizing it. So there's going to be a lot of popping pressure on and off that plate. So making sure that it doesn't spin in there, good idea. Crawler scale, anything I can take out to my local scale crawler areas. Playing now, never mind. What? I missed them. Oh, music stopped. Oh, yeah. It takes breaks. It's lazy. Thank you for letting me know, Darwin. I appreciate that. What was I going to say? Let's see. Ethan, if you're really just looking for something to like mess around with, if there is a crawler group, I would advise you to join whatever your local crawler group is. Try to find one of the guys that's actually a leader of the group, if they seem like reasonable people, because some people just aren't reasonable. And have them help you find something locally that you can see that's been built and has been used, because it's going to be cheaper. That's probably the best way to get something that's a good truck for less, because there are a lot of people that build like a whole lot of trucks, and sometimes they just like sit there for a while and they don't get used a lot. And if they see a new guy come around and the new guy's like, hey, I'm looking for a truck, that's when they're kind of like, yeah, I'll probably sell this. That's just my thoughts. Woo! We are done with this. Dish is empty. I know you've all been wanting to know. Dish is empty. We have exhausted the parts from that dish. We've still got lots of stuff though. Actually, I have other parts that weren't in the dish. Now the dish has stuff in it again. See, damn. Damn, Gina! I hope that's okay at school. The damn. Hey, Francisco. I've been good. Let's see. Yeah, that is true. Ethan, damn you. Darwin, yes. That's actually why I do these things, so that other people can start doing them. See that someone that's been in the hobby for a long time that kind of, I know a little bit, makes mistakes. Not a big deal. Nothing to be worried about. Building one of these trucks, anyone can do it. It can take some patience. This is still easier than a lot of other things I've seen. Francisco, I have been... can't talk. Francisco, I have been good. Thank you for asking. We are building an SCX10-III. Tonight, we are on page 18. We've really only done the transmission tonight. Last week, we did the axles and shocks. So, we're taking our time. No rush. Let's see. Well, if you don't want one of your trucks, you'll pay postage. Dude, postage to Australia for a truck would be stupid. I mean, stupid. I ship stuff to Australia, and I see the postage cost, and for something that big, I mean, literally anything over 12 inches, and it's, you may as well like put it on like a transmission crate, and I don't know, it's bad. You would not want to pay the postage. I actually don't have any trucks that I would want to sell at the moment that it would be worth it for you to purchase, because you could still get them locally. If you were looking for something that's still a good truck and the least expensive thing I can think of off the top of my head, go look at a Red Cat Gen 8. And I don't even mean the Axe edition, which they're nicer, but they're a lot more expensive. The regular Gen 8s are really, really reasonable. They don't have all the bells and whistles and some of the features like this truck has. But for something you can just go out and, you know, beat up, yeah, you'll break some stuff, you fix it. That's kind of part of the fun. My favorite thing that I enjoyed when I was probably in 9th, 10th grade. My favorite thing about the vehicle, the RC vehicle I had at the time, was an RC10, and we raced those things around, and it was like half as much fun to get in a wreck and fix stuff as it was to race it. I don't know. But anyway, let's see. Looks like we are now entering the slipper zone. I don't know why I said it that way. I don't know what a slipper zone is, but I think it's where we put some slipper stuff together. This should be... I'm not going to say this should be easier because then it's going to explode, but I am anticipating less problems on this page than previous pages. He is from Australia, Francisco. Or, I don't know, he's from there. That's where he is currently. Actually, I guess this isn't like stickers or anything, right? Some of these I know had like double-sided tape. This one does not appear to. Okay, so it's just going to sit in there like this. And that's totally fine. I hope I am doing a better job keeping things in the camera view tonight than I did last week, because last week I did not do such a hot job. Okay, let's see. We've got a spacer, which looks like they're not going to tell me what size the spacer is, but I think there's only one spacer left that's going to fit on there. That would make sense. Let's see. Oh, nuts. Oh, just one nut, actually. On nut? That doesn't sound right. See, that's why I said on nuts. So, interesting, because there is no spring on here. And I'm used to slippers that have some sort of spring. I guess they decided, man, everybody either takes out the slippers or cranks those things down crazy tight. I'm not sure how tight that will make this. I don't know what I'm saying anymore. I'm mental. Let's see. So if you are having problems holding the gear while you tighten the nut down, just a little tip. Splam. Okay. I'm glad this big arrow is here. Oh my. Now we've got some I'm gonna say little nuts. Now we got some little nuts to How bad can I make this? Let me think about this. That doesn't make sense, actually. I was going to say now we've got some little nuts to put in the hole, but that's, you know, that's just terrible, Patrick. And it's not even really anatomically appropriate or whatever you want to call it. I'm going to stop talking. How's everybody doing tonight? Let's see, where are we? Trail honcho would be good, yes. Yes, that is true. You've got a comp honcho that's pretty capable, mostly custom nowadays, so hard to keep up with. Do you mean hard to keep up with for like repairs and stuff like that? You know, honestly, if you've already got a 10-2 and you just want something you can play around with, there's something to be said for having multiple of the same trucks in terms of how many spare parts you have to carry around. So that's also something to consider. Now let's see, I got these two guys in here. I want to make sure I carefully, I guess I haven't shown you guys what's in the instructions. Secret instructions. So you have to insert these little nuts, which I've already done. And then before you assemble this, you have to, per the instructions, go like this with it. It's in there. Oh man. Okay. What are we doing here? This is going to be flipped around. Let's see, they should have had like a swirly thing in there. Pfft, madness. Okay. This does go in there. That goes in there. This cap on the end, and I just heard something pop off. So one of my little nuts came out. Oh, Patrick. Go in your home, man. There we go. Okay, so I'm going to try this a different way. I'm not sure what I think about these little nut things, but the night is young. So although you can access this one from this step, this point, whatever you want to call it, you really can't with the other one. So if you don't take care, I guess, to not jostle this, I'm concerned that it could just fly out. That kind of would be a pain in the ass to get to. So, but you know what? Let's find out. If I flip this over, is the little nut going to come out? Yes, they both do. Lovely. Just wanted to check. So if you guys are doing this, when you're going from this step to the next steps, make sure you are very careful to orient everything so that these things don't just slide out. I'm sure it's not that big of a deal to put them back in, but I don't know at what point this is actually going to be used such that something will be holding these in. I mean, you honestly probably could put a little screw in there. Oh, okay. It's soon. It's soon. So we won't have to do it for that long. That makes me feel better. I think I just confused myself. Anyway, point being, if you are snapping this part on or you jiggle it around too much, those little things may come out. I'm going to just sit that up there. Nope, it doesn't want to. Are you done? Stay. Stay. Wow, you know what? I don't have a motor picked out yet. I don't even have a motor in here. Where are we? Hour and a half in? So we're not going to have a motor to put in yet. I will remedy that situation for next time. So we don't have we'll have the pinion. We'll have this. I'm guessing, well, I guess either we could stop for the night. Oh, you little punk. I turned it, and the little nuts came out. Well, that's good. Well, I mean, if you're not worried about having to repair stuff, I mean, I don't know. Man, there's so many options out there. You know, you could look around for something that somebody has custom, or you know, on the flip side, I mean, you can spend a lot of money, get something else that's custom, but then you've already got one. So, I mean, on the cheap end, honestly, the cheapest out of the box thing that I can think of off the top of my head right now, really, it's the original Red Cat Gen 8. They're not bad. They're not like super technologically advanced, but you know, you can drive them and have fun. So where'd my mouse go? There it is. Yes, they are usually cheaper. I don't know, man. You know, if you're not like looking for anything specific, I would, like I said, I'd join a group and see what people are selling. Maybe something will just catch your eye. And then sometimes you get people that buy stuff and they just get bored of it and move on to the next project. That's all I could really tell you. I mean, any truck these days really can be made to be pretty reliable. It's just that there's different levels of that and different requirements and different costs. So I guess there's not really a point to me putting, I mean, this is basically the last, what do we got? Yeah, you know what? Up next we have links. So since I wasn't thinking and did not bring a motor for tonight, I think this is probably where we'll pause for the evening. You know, it's pretty obvious where this is going to go. Pinion would go in there. I've got some extra hardware left, which someone told me there shouldn't be any extra hardware. But I also have, I know, 2 of these spacers were the lockouts. I'm assuming that these are some arms that will help mount this to the chassis. That's my guess. That's what it looks like. Let's see. We're gonna cheat, skip ahead, because they're not saying to. Oh nope, man. See, if I read the instructions, it actually does say. Okay, so we're gonna mount these arms. So we're not to this. I'll edit that whole last 2 minutes out. Everything's fine. Nothing to see here. Move along. Let's see. So orienting this like this. This guy. What is happening? Where does this go? So they've got, I mean, maybe I'm just... Okay, so screws come through here and hold this on. And then, that's kind of a pain. So that's what I'm talking about. I'm concerned that I'm going to drop a nut in there and then have to take this all apart. We'll see. So let's see. We actually missed this. This actually does get a little more complicated than I thought. So before I even put this on there, which, yeah, that stupid nut came out again. There is one screw in here that we are supposed to put in, and I'm guessing that's holding this. Yes. Okay. Yeah, you don't want to skip that step, because you want to be able to, you know, put the transmission in the housing, in the chassis, in the housing. Put the transmission in the housing. Ooh, a little harder to just get this one started. My hands are just have just enough grease. Let's see. Ah, no, man. Ethan, you're not annoying anybody. I'm always happy to have company when we do these builds because, Not a lot of people will tune in to watch an entire build. They'll catch it on YouTube and like fast forward when the whole thing's done and whatever, or look for specifics of, hey, they're building one and they want to know how something goes. So I'm always happy to have somebody tune in and entertain me. So thank you for dropping by and entertaining us. I keep reversing this thing before I put it on. Oh, fucking nut. Where did it go? There it is. Well, I guess now it's not safe for school because I just dropped an F-bomb. Sorry about that. So it's like the little nuts are okay, but then when I go to snap this thing on, everything just shoots it up. It's kind of irritating. Not a fan of that. And now, while I'm putting these screws in, I feel like I have to keep this thing oriented this way so that they don't fall out. Man, I almost wish I had just put a drop of glue in there. Keep those things in there. And I thought I was done for the night. Well, I'm glad that I could help you somehow, Ethan. Feel free to tune in again next Monday when it looks like we'll get into the links and probably the chassis is my guess. Because I'm guessing we're going to have the chassis done before we can mount the transmission to it. It's funny because I frequently look over here at the monitor and not up here at the camera. So if you guys are wondering why I keep looking down here, it's because my monitor is down here. So I'm trying to kind of look at you guys, but also make sure I have things in view somewhat. I guess if I consciously try to always look at the camera, maybe I'll do a better job. But then my brain is going to be thinking about something else, and is that really what we need? Me thinking about two things at once? That could end poorly. You know, what I should have done was I should have used your trick, Darwin, that you were talking about using for the pins, and just thrown some grease in that hole with the nut. See if that would kind of keep it in place. But shouldn't have to do that because, well, then it's like you've lubed up. I'm not even gonna say it. Nope. Moving on. Next, what do we got? More screws. Damn. Damn you screws. Okay. So we've got that on. One in, one in. I think one more, right? Because that one's in. That's those two. And then those two. Yep. One more screw. Yeah, so I guess next week we will start with plopping a motor in there. Maybe we won't, you know? I'm almost kind of, well, curious to see how long it would take to take all of this apart to be able to put the motor in. So we're just going to do this. And actually, if I do this now, this will prevent those little nuts from jumping out. I'm kind of wondering if I couldn't have just put this part on a long time ago. Whatever, I don't know. Okay, so that goes with the pinion. I don't want to lose that, so I'm going to go ahead and put it in. Pinion. We've got 2 screws left. Those hold the motor in. 2 spacers that we don't need, so those will go in the pile of random, which is just the top of the workbench. It's my pile of random. Man. Let me see. Right? Yeah, I don't know. I don't think you'd use Loctite on those. I don't know. How do you think about that? Maybe? Oh, nobody wants to see me. This is what everyone wants to see. The beauty of the transmission. Right? So, as I said before, there is a lot of research, development, work, thought that has gone into this. Most of it I love. There are some really, I mean, honestly, the only thing about this thing that I really don't like are the 2 little, I don't want to call them captured. I mean, you can kind of see the back of one of them. Oop, going the wrong way. One of them right here. So as you were putting this together, if those fall out, it's just kind of a pain in the butt to have to get them back in. You might have to take all these screws off. I don't know. Was there not a better way to do that? Maybe there wasn't. I don't know. It seems like, you know, you could have had just let this poke through down here and just put a regular M3 nut on it. Same thing over here. I can't tell how much space there would be. I mean, they've got the ribbing and everything right there. So hard to know, but still, this is gonna be fun. I'm digging this. I don't know why. The like pivoted lever arm, whatever you want to call it. I'm sure there's a technical term. I'm gonna be excited to get this into the truck. Offset, so we've got driver's side drop. In case anyone was wondering or didn't notice that while I was assembling it. The transmission looks nice. I mean, really, it went together without a whole lot of problems. I definitely can see how somebody would make multiple mistakes. I can see that because I made multiple mistakes. But anyway, I don't know if you guys have any other questions. Are we doing an after show today? I don't know. I don't know what we could after show about. We could maybe do an after show. Sure, but I'm going to have to go get a beverage for that. So you guys will just have to wait a couple of minutes. Anyway, for everyone that joined us for this and everyone that's watching on YouTube, thank you for watching the next part of this series. So we'll be at part 3, I guess, next week. I just said it's next week. So next Monday, we should have part 3 of this. It looks like that's going to be links. Lots of links. More links. Some drive shafts. I see a skid plate. And the beginnings of, yes, we're going to be getting into the chassis. So I think that'll be fun. I hope you guys will tune in next week. I will see you then. If you liked this video, please consider subscribing. Not sure if you want to subscribe yet? Check out one of these videos. Thank you for watching.